Hi Cabbages, new video. Today's video, well, this is the third video I've done today, which is quite rare for me because I don't normally record 3 times in one day. But today's video, I kind of feel like I want to do something different again, and I want to do like another rant video because I feel like I haven't done one in a while. And you know, there's just stuff really I want to get off my mind, off my chest, and just speak up a little bit. And this video is kind of about like a health issue I've had, like to do with health. So in advance, if this video isn't for you, then I would probably skip it because it's going to be just me ranting. But I want to kind of talk about like I won't say like an illness, but like an issue I've had for the past, like, I'd say like 2 years now. And it's to do with like numbness and tingling and kind of like stiffness and things like that. And the reason I'm calling it that, because I've not actually been diagnosed with anything by a doctor. This is just kind of like my experiences. And it kind of started around like 2021, 22, but it was during the COVID era. Basically, I suffer with one-sided numbness and tingling from time to time, and it started like around that time, like I said. And the only reason how I can explain it started with my lips. Like, I remember, like, getting, like, this weird, like, pins and needles, weird tingling feeling in my lips. And I kind of just brushed it off, and I thought, oh, it isn't too much. Like, it's probably just, like, pins and needles or something. And it just kept coming on for, I'd say, a good few days. And after about a week or so, it just progressively got worse over time. Then the week after that, I kind of had like this weird feeling in my mouth. And it felt like, you know, when you go to a dentist and you have like a tooth pulled out, or you have work done in your teeth, in your mouth, and your mouth kind of feels swollen and stiff and you can't talk properly. That's what my mouth felt like, but I haven't been to the dentist or had any treatment. And I thought, well, this is a bit bizarre. So I did call a doctor, but you know, at the moment, recently, you know what doctors are like in the UK. You can't really get anywhere. So they kind of just brushed it off. And so I kind of like turned to Dr. Google, and the number one thing it come up was stroke. And I thought, oh no, I'm 29, I'm 30 now, but at the time I was like in my 28, 29, I was like, oh my word, I'm having like a stroke. After that, the symptoms miraculously, they kind of just faded after that. So I thought, oh, maybe it's just anxiety. And then they kind of left me for about a month or so, and then they would come back. But the second time they come back, I would get these really strong headaches. And that's how they kind of start now. On it sometimes they just come on their own, but other times I will get like a really strong headache. And then, or pain in my neck, and then I will get like the one-sided numbness, and it would affect my eyes next. And I remember my eyes kind of would get like blurry, and they would water a lot, and I'd keep rubbing my eyes. And then after that, they would cut the tingling and the numbness. It would kind of go to like my arm and my hand. And it would feel like, kind of like my arm was weak, but not paralysed. And I think, oh God, this is serious. And I would keep calling the doctors and everything, and no luck. They'd say call the emergency 111 people and or go to hospital, but I kind of felt like it wasn't bad enough to go to hospital, and I didn't want to put pressure on A&E staff for something or nothing. And so I would kind of just have to like ride it out. And my mum would say, "Oh, you're not calling an ambulance over something trivial." So I would kind of just have to like ride it out. And then after that, it kind of just progressed like that for months. And sometimes it never really often goes to my leg. Like, I don't really get it in my leg. It mainly happens in my face, my arm, from time to time, and my eye. And it always mainly happens on the left side, but sometimes it does go to the right. And then I will get it both sides, or it will be on the right side and not the left. And the other symptoms I get with this is I will get kind of like chest pains with it on and off. Very bad dizzy spells, like I feel like I'm on cloud nine. One time I was sat in bed chilling out and I had one of these attacks and I got off the bed and I couldn't feel my leg and I fell over. Sometimes it will affect my speech, but not too much. As you can tell, I'm having an attack today, but I can still talk at the moment. And the other thing I get with it is kind of like brain fog. Sometimes, like, your thoughts become dizzy and blurred. And yeah, I did keep calling the doctors and I was very persistent. And they did eventually try and book me in for a neurologist that would scan my brain. But with all this COVID stuff and appointments, they just kept cancelling appointments and changing them and coming up with excuses, so I couldn't go. And then they tried to blame me for it when it wasn't even my fault. And they were like, "Oh, you didn't turn up?" I was like, "No, because they kept cancelling the appointments." Like, my GP, they were trying to blame me. And I'm like, "No, it's the hospital. They're the ones that keep doing it." And I've also had other health problems with doctors and hospitals, but I'm not going to go into that today because I don't want to bore you. And yeah, these are kind of like the symptoms I get with it now. So when I did do my Dr. Google search, it would come up with stroke, MS, cerebral palsy was another one, and hemiplegic migraines. And you look at the symptoms, I looked at stroke and I thought, could be but can't be. MS, I didn't think it was that because some of the symptoms didn't match up. Cerebral palsy, I thought, no, isn't that. But with hemiplegic migraines, the symptoms did seem very similar. I'm not saying I have that, but from what I've read online and watched, they do kind of match, and it's actually caused by a headache. It's kind of what mine start with. Not always. I don't always get a headache, and I've never really suffered with migraines. Only in 2015 I had really bad migraines, and that was when my dad passed away and I was really run down and depressed, and I ended up having these really bad headaches, and it actually caused me to have really bad vision for a bit, and I had to go to an optician, and the optician said I had tension headaches, which was caused by stress. And also I did a media course and I was looking at a screen for too long, so I had to wear glasses for a bit. But then when I did an eye test in 2020 at another optician, they said my eyes were fine, so I don't understand that. So I don't wear glasses now, but that's what they said. And then, yeah, that I never got an appointment. So I have told doctors, And in 2022, after years of not being in a GP, I did eventually see a doctor about something else, which I'm not going to discuss today, but it was major. And when I was there, I told them about my numbness and that, but they didn't really say much. They kind of just brushed it off. And yeah, and it kind of just stopped the same as that, really. Touch wood, it hasn't gotten too much worse than that. It hasn't really gotten better either. And these attacks now, they kind of like come and go. Like, I don't know how long they'd last. I'd say a couple of weeks, maybe a few days, and then like this year in 2023, they've actually been pretty good. Like, at the beginning of this year, I didn't have hardly any attacks, maybe little ones. I call them little ones. April and May, they were good months. I didn't have anything. June wasn't too bad. Neither was July. I think these attacks have started since I've had the new kitchen done, and I'm not sure if I've been stressed or I actually don't know what it is, because I can't diagnose myself because I'm not a doctor. And I've considered going to the hospital, but then I don't know, I don't feel like it's serious enough, because I keep being told by people, oh, it's nothing, it's just in your head, it's fine. But I'm not one of these that makes stuff up for attention. I don't like that. And that's probably why I don't really talk about this sort of thing on my channel, because I don't want to put like a negative impact on my channel. I don't want to come across as someone that moans over nothing. But I just feel like I wanted to get this off my chest and kind of see how I feel comfortable with it, because I do want to open up about my health and my rants and struggles a little bit on my channel, but not be too open, because I do like having some privacy. So that's why I thought today I would start with just talking about my numbness attacks, and because no one really listens to me when I talk up at home. Like, I'm not really listened, I'm not really heard. So, and I don't have counselling or anything like that. So to me, I kind of just bottle things up, and I feel like I want to kind of use my channel, hopefully. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with that, because I'm scared of judgment. But to have my way of speaking up, you know, because I think we all deserve a voice. Yeah, I kind of feel silly when I do these rant videos, but some people told me they like them. I don't know why, but you know, everyone has their own taste, and I do feel better sometimes getting stuff off of my chest. And yeah, what do you guys suggest, like with these numbness? I know you can't diagnose me because probably most of you are not doctors, but yeah, I just thought I would talk about it and kind of just see what suggestions or what you say. I know what the top comments be: go back, go to the hospital, go to the doctors, go back, rant, scream, get their attention. I've tried all that, but it don't work, and I think the doctors are kind of fed up with me at the moment, because when I'm not well, I do persist and I argue, and I'm like, look, I need to speak to someone now. I am not listening to your petty excuses. I need to talk to someone. But then they just say, oh, we're booked to capacity, and so you don't really get anywhere. So I think, what's the point? What is the fucking point? Because you're just going in fucking circles. So I think, fuck it. And yeah, I'm sorry for this rant video, but yeah, I feel like I wanted to talk about one of my health symptoms. There is more, but if you want that, it's up to you. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.